Happy Saturday, everyone. Oh my goodness. 5 days till Christmas? I think so. What does it say back there? We're getting down to the wire. I hope you have everything under control and you're just going to ease into this holiday. Everything will be all right. So I won't keep you long. I know that this is just a bit of a break. You can do this while we're wrapping presents or baking. Just, listen to me, not that much to see, but, join in. So, what we're going to talk about today is flywheels. And you might say, what the heck is a flywheel, Ramona? I'm going to tell you. Our goal is to demonstrate why the flywheel model is far superior to the funnel, traditional funnel. And of course, our why is because sharing your brilliance should be simple, not rocket science. And I'm going to make this as simple as possible. So, what we'll cover today is where funnels end, flywheels accelerate. We're going to look at how the flywheel gains momentum. And then I'm going to quickly build a flywheel in Flowdesk, which this is totally application agnostic. You can do this in, the cat just did something. There was a big noise. Okay. You can do this in ConvertKit, better known as Kit now, ActiveCampaign, any email service provider, MailChimp, etc., etc., etc. So you may ask, what's a flywheel? Look at this, 1802. Um, got this from Wikipedia. Trevithick's 1802 steam locomotive, which used a flywheel to evenly distribute the power of its single cylinder. I don't understand that, but I don't remember when I was watching Westerns. I didn't see any locomotives with that big old thing. Now, maybe this was a, minimum viable product. I don't know. They might have perfected it after that, but I sure didn't ever see that. But this is a little more modern, and I guess we still use them. I think this came from a car, again, Wikipedia, but look at all those intricate thingy doodles. It's still a flywheel. So, what we're concerned with is flywheel in your email marketing. Now, the traditional funnel, first off, this is from Kickstart Collective. Go over there. They got a real nice little article, plus little video. 2026 planning, build your marketing flywheel before January. Very good article. And they have, like I say, it's kind of a podcast video. So traditionally, we've all known about the funnel. Everybody is, wants to sell us a funnel, wants to teach us how to do a funnel just over and over and over again. We hear about funnels. And you can see the funnel starts with attract. The flywheel starts with attract as well. Now you're casting a wide net, you're sending out your email, your lead magnet, and you just want to get some people. So this is a lot of people coming in. A lot of them may not be your ideal audience, but this is the top of the funnel. So then you go down a little bit more, and those people that are engaged and interested, you start converting them. And then finally, you close them. Now, on the flywheel, on the other hand, the customer is in the center. The customer is always king. You're going to start again with your attract. Instead of trying to convert someone, you're going to engage with them. You're going to build a sincere, authentic relationship. And once you get them all engaged and they're happy, of course they're going to give you money. They're going to buy your offers because you have shown them that you're the expert. You're willing to give them valuable content, and they want to work with you. They want to be in your world, and they're delighted. And that's the key. Happy customer, happy life. I know, happy wife, happy life. Okay. Doesn't fit that well here, but anywho. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen, this is a young Alec Baldwin, very, very young. This was from Glenn Carey, I can't remember, I can't pronounce the name of the movie, but this was a very profanity laced diatribe that he gives his salespeople, and he says, always be closing, always be closing. We want to always be delighting with the flywheel. Now, why flywheels win? There is self-sustaining momentum. Once you get started, the momentum's going to kick in, and this is going to be self-sustaining. Flywheels give better ROI because what you're doing, you are constantly delighting your customers, your clients. You're giving them more, the unexpected goodness you're giving them. And we all know that when it comes to customer acquisition, it's far easier to keep a customer and make them happy and possibly get them to buy more than it is to go out and find cold leads, and you got to warm them up. Statistics are out there for better ROI. It also increases retention and loyalty. Just like I said, you're delighting your customers. You're not leaving them, hanging out, at the school dance. They're the wallflower. They're your main they're your main thing. So retention and loyalty is key in the flywheel. These people are actually going to be your marketing team. And of course, the flywheel matches modern buying behavior much better than the funnel. Um, Sales have, selling is so much different online. And we all know that when we want to buy something, what do we do first? We ask family, we ask friends, we go and we look at reviews. We'll go to Google reviews, we'll go to Yelp, do people still use Yelp? Maybe Reddit, but we don't want to work with anybody that isn't at least a 4 star. I tend to be a 4.5 to 5, because, I don't know, maybe you got one bad review, but I want to work with the upstanding, good people. But that's a different, buying behavior than what we've had in the past. What we happened in the past was we were sold to. Now your customer is king. So trust the numbers. 81% of consumers trust recommendations from friends and families over business, and 55% trust businesses far less than they used to. I don't trust anybody anymore. So here's the breakdown of the flywheel framework. And I'm going to apologize because there are going to be some slides in here that are extremely text heavy. And I have an aversion to text heavy slides, but I just had to give this to you. So bear with me, take some screenshots, and I won't do it again. Okay? So, framework, as I said, attract, engage, delight. You're going to start off, you're going to bring them into your world with your lead magnet. The lead magnet is going to solve a problem. Don't make it fluff, actually solve a specific problem for them. Once they get into your world, you're going to build genuine relationships and trust through consistent, valuable communication. Show up as a guide, not a seller. This is extremely important with the flywheel framework. Well, any type of marketing. I'm going to reference StoryBrand by Donald Miller. The framework, remember, it's the hero's journey. You're not the hero. Never make yourself the hero. Your client or your customer is the hero. You're the guide. You're going to take them on a journey, and you're going to show them how they can relieve their pain, solve their problem. You're only the guide. So once you got them in there, you've built trust. You've given them really valuable content that they can use, not just put in a folder. The delight, once you delight, I love the word delight. That's part of my marketing right now. It's just a delightful word. I can't help it. Let's see what's going on. Val says, I've been through so many people's. I know. Okay, well, I said just real quick for the funnel. Um, I made a statement on one of Amy Porterfield's groups that I slid down her funnel like a greased pig, and my credit cards are now in a Hellraiser's Chinese puzzle box. And people just thought that was they thought that was so funny, but it really was. I slid down her funnel because I wanted to see what her funnel was. So she was so successful. She got my money. She gets pretty much of my money, but she's cool. Another one, sorry about the text. Setting up your complete flywheel system. Again, the attract stage, that's your email, your lead magnet delivery. Once they fill out the form, your opt-in form, they're going to give you name, email. That's all you need at the first round. They need to get that lead magnet immediately. When they go to their inbox, they need to see that. Maybe it'll take a few minutes, but it shouldn't take more than a few minutes, all right? And you want to automate that because you don't know when people are opting into your forum. That's the very first thing that elicits trust, is that okay, well, they delivered what they said they were going to deliver. And this workflow sets up, oh, wait a minute, set up workflow to deliver immediately when someone subscribes. And I'm going to go over to Flowdesk in a moment. But again, this system is agnostic. In the engage stage, what you're going to do is you're going to craft a 5 email series. I've seen 3 email series. I've seen as many as 9. These are called either a welcome workflow or nurture automation, nurture sequence. They go by different names, but they're the same thing. What you're doing is building that trust. You're giving away value, and don't worry, don't be closed fist on that value. Just give it up, because the thing you want them to say is, well, if she's giving away this much value, what must her paid offers look like? See, a little bit of psychology. So you're going to get that 5 email series, depending on which you want, like I say, 3, 5, or 9. It can be any length. And then you're going to ease them into maybe a workshop invitation. Maybe you're going to do a webinar, maybe you're going to do a challenge, but you're going to this is kind of the low-hanging fruit. It's a low entry offer. I'm going to stay with the workshop because that's what I'm going to do in 2026. A workshop is a low entry offer. It doesn't cost much. Maybe it'll be 60 to 90 minutes. It's going to let them walk away with one quick win. It's not giving them the whole ball of wax in 90 minutes. You can't do that. It's letting them walk away with one quick win. And pricing, sometimes 27, 47. I like the 47 range. You can go up to 100. It depends on what your product is, of course. But you don't want them to have to think about it too much. Think about this. So I'm getting your emails, and I've got this lead magnet from you, and I really thought the lead magnet was good. It helped me. And so now you're offering a workshop, but you want me to pay a little bit. I'm more likely to pay $47 than you coming at me with your $2,000 signature course or your $5,000 coaching cohort. People just aren't ready to take that leap. But the psychology is when they when they open their wallet, it's kind of, you're going to get them a little bit easier. They're very warm now once they give you any amount of money. And of course, the delight stage is just ongoing value. You're going to give them, this is delight. You're going to just over deliver. You're going to give them content. You're going to give them tips, resources, just beyond their imagination. They're going to say, wow, I really like her. Now, you're going to use some smart segments because, and I'm going to use segments, but they're the same as tags. MailChimp, Kit, ActiveCampaign use tags. Flowdesk use segments. Same thing, just think they're synonyms. So you're not going to talk to all your people, your entire list exactly the same. You're going to create some segments and you're going to put them into little buckets so that you've got your engaged, you've got your very engaged, and then you've got those people that just are on the list. Maybe they downloaded the lead magnet, but they didn't even look at it, and they haven't been active at all. So there we go. Now, here's the flywheel again. After you've done all that, and they're happy, they may have bought your workshop. If you notice, we've got another circle here. We still got the customer in the center because they are king. This customer, we've attracted them, we've engaged with them. They are delighted that that workshop was so fantastic. And maybe you even have gotten them up to your high ticket course or, coaching sesh cohort. But what happens with delight? What happens with happy people? Happy people talk. Happy people talk a lot. And guess what they become? They become your promoters. Now, two ways to go here. There's promoters and there's detractors. And detractors tend to be louder than anybody, especially in this day and age. A bad review can ruin a company. Anything on X, I don't go over to that cesspool, but remarking on X can just crescendo, and then a company has to do damage control simply because of that one detractor. But if you got promoters in your circle, what they're going to do? They're going to talk to strangers who are their friends, but they're strangers to you. They're people that you would never get in contact with because you don't know they're out there. But the promoter is going to say, hey, that workshop that Ramona gave, it was excellent. You got to get on her list. Here's her lead magnet. Sign up. You're never going to regret it. Those strangers become prospects, then they become customers. You're going to delight them again, and the circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it starts going faster. So, and that's what we want. Again, a lot of text. So these are the segments. You've got engaged subscribers, you got workshop attendees, you got highly engaged, and then you got people that need re-engagement. So these are going to be your segments or your tags. You're going to tag people as this person is engaged because they opened 3 emails in the last 30 days. Your strategy for them is you're going to continue with the valuable content. You're going to give them maybe, that workshop. Maybe there's some other low ticket items. And you're going to give them, invitations to maybe you're going to do a Q&A, invite them to a private Q&A and, just keep them happy. Your workshop attendees, now they've paid money. So you're going to be real nice to these people, and you're going to give them follow-up resources. You're going to make sure that they know how to implement what you taught them on that workshop, and you're going to always give them next step opportunities. Now maybe they're interested in that $5,000 coaching cohort. And then, of course, we've got the highly engaged. Now, these criteria can be anything. You could have, if they open 4 emails in the last 30 days, I send out like 8 emails a month. So the 5 would work for me. But if you're only sending a newsletter out once a week, if they open every newsletter, change that to 4. These people get the VIP treatment. They basically are probably going to buy anything you offer them. So they get, you treat them really nice. You give them early access to some of your offers. You give them exclusive bonuses that nobody else gets, and you just baby them. You just baby them because these are the ones that are going to bring in more people for you. So let's see. Val says, actually, I do like the word delight. I do. I've got it on my lead magnet. And where I got, okay, this is a screen share. Okay, now here's a point I'm going to tell you about the flywheel. And I'm not, if there's any mechanical engineers out there, this is your baby, or physics. I think it's part of physics. I struggled through physics very, very, very hard. That broke my brain. So don't ask me. Um, it is a heavy lift at first because think of the mechanical side. Something's got to make that thing move, right? So that's a heavy lift at first. But once it starts moving, it's going to generate energy, and it's going to get faster and faster and faster. So the heavy lift is going to be making these segments or tags. And I'm not going to go through all of them. These green ones, the reason they have template in front of them is because I can share them through Flowdesk. And Flowdesk is the thing that started me with delightful. I said, this thing is delightful. It really is. So let's see, what do we got next here? Okay, now this is, you're going to have 3 parts here. And I am so sorry that it's barely readable. And I'll tell you if we have time at the end where I got these slides. They're not on brand, but I found a little AI, and I'm going to tell you about that at the end if we have time. So, part 1, your segments or your tags. You're going to make sure that you have everybody tagged for the lead magnet, and you want that specific lead magnet because you may have many. So, you're going to have a nurture sequence or a welcome sequence for every lead magnet that you have, because though that welcome sequence is going to be specific to the lead magnet you gave them. So you want to make everything coherent. The engagement segments, you've got it, like I say, on that other slide, we have engaged subscribers, highly engaged, and needs re-engagement. And they consider the action based segments as workshop attendees. And you can have workshop invitation opened. You can, okay, I'm just going to stop there. Workshop invitation opened is optional. Can you do that in Flowdesk or Active Campaign or Kit? Or do you need another piece of software? I'll get back to you on that. I know when I was using Infusionsoft, you had to use another piece of software. So I'll get back to you on that. And of course, let me see where I'm at. Oh my God, the iPad that I'm using to watch the comments only has 10% left because I didn't plug it in. Silly, silly me. But that's how it's been going this morning. So that slide was a bit of a repeat, I think. And here we go. This is part 3, the delight stage. And if you can read this, this really, okay, Claude AI, I didn't do this, but Claude found out and gave me this cadence. So for your engaged people, you're going to have surprise bonuses. And say the first Tuesday of each month, you're going to give them an unexpected free gift, okay? For the the third Thursday of each month, send them a behind the scenes email. Make yourself vulnerable. People, especially nowadays, people want to see the vulnerable, the authentic. Um, they want people to be like them, all right? Now, I don't know how we were showing up before because authentic is like the buzzword right now. And I don't know. People say they're not into the huge influencers. They want to see people that are more like them. And so every once in a while, as you get going, because remember, this is the flywheel keeps spinning, you're going to have some you're going to have some wins that you want to celebrate from your customers. So you want to do a case study let's see, whenever you have a great testimonial or success story, you want to share that with your people, because what they will see is, oh, that person's just like me. If they can do it, I can do it, right? So these emails, they're very important. And these go out, like I say, you got it monthly, then you got some that are going to be quarterly. You may ask your subscribers for some feedback. Polls are nice, quizzes are nice. You want to do this quarterly. First week of January, April, July, and October. One nice thing about this slide, if you want to take a screenshot, the cadence here is pretty good. Put this in your planner, your content planner. Everybody has a content planner, right? Bleh. Those spreadsheets, gag me with a spoon. I did find a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful what do I call it? Content planner, content creator over in Etsy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I should promote her. And I think I even asked her, because it's a spreadsheet, but it's not a spreadsheet. It's just gorgeous. It's delightful. Spreadsheets give me hives. They have always given me hives when I was in corporate. No, well, I was in the development side, so I didn't have to do spreadsheets. I did have to do databases though, but I prefer a database, but spreadsheets give me hives. So let's see what we got. Ugh, everything. Where are we at now? Okay. So here we are. We're at segment. Okay. The reason I am stumbling is because there's like gremlins in here today. First off, my slide deck software wouldn't work, then it would work. A minute ago, it wouldn't work. There's always fallbacks, but I'm just telling you, everything is basically not working today, but I'm powering through. So where are we here? We got the delight. These are ongoing broadcasts. You always want to ask them for referrals and share request email, because that's how your flywheel keeps going, gets bigger, gets faster. So you always, they've already bought something from you, you know, ask them, hey, if you think this lead magnet, if you think this email, if you think my program would help someone, please forward it. Make it real easy, real easy. You can eventually do a proper affiliate program. That gets a little hairy, and that's not what we're going to go through today, but it is something to put in the back of your mind. You can offer people a little coffee money. Basically, it's just coffee money. What I do is offer, I don't tell people, but if somebody refers somebody to me and I close, I just said close the person, because I've used funnels. I've just started using um, the flywheel, but I always give them a finder's fee, like a 5% of the website cost. And every time I do that, people just are so, they're like, oh my God, I didn't think you were going to do that. Because usually maybe $100, 150 or so, something. But they get really excited, and they're more likely to give me some more referrals. So I think it's just nice. If somebody gives you a referral, you got to give them something back, okay? Whether that's a proper affiliate program or just doing it as finder's fee. And then the loop is the segment trigger sequence. We got the re-engagement. These are the people that are on the sideline. If they go inactive, don't keep them on your email list, because it affects your deliverability. They're not opening up anything. How they got on your list, who knows? But they're the wrong person, because they're not inactive. Eventually, just unsubscribe them. And people get real janky about that. I can't unsubscribe them. They might bite. No, these people aren't, because they have not interacted with you. So, oh, Val said, okay, very readable. Thank goodness, because this is not my style. As you can see, this one, I didn't even take off, made with Gamma. Like I say, if time permits. Um, we'll go to gamma. So let's see, we are here. I want to go over here to an actual segment. This is the workflow. So I am in Flowdesk, and I am going to, you see my eyes going because I don't know which to, do I press this or do I press that? Okay. Oh, Val, I want to talk to you about motion. I get it now. That's a sidebar. I'm sorry, people. That's a sidebar. Val knows what I mean. What's it called? Motion. We'll talk about that later. So over here, you got a, let me make this actual size. There you can see more. So this trigger, this sequence, workflow, whatever you want to call it, it starts off with your lead magnet, and immediately everyone gets this delivery in that big black thing. I'll show it to you. The only reason that it's a button, the only reason that's so long is because I'm describing. I'm going to share this with people, this workflow. So I'm just download now, link to your lead magnet file, wherever you've housed your lead magnet. That's what you're going to do. And so they're going to click that and they're going to get the download for your lead magnet. Now, what's nice if you're like conflicted about where should I put that file, generally a PDF, all the ESPs allow you to just click a button, upload your file, and it's going to be housed in their system. I don't mind that because it's very easy, but you don't really know that, you kind of forget where it's at. So I kind of put, you can put it on Drive, you can put it on Dropbox, anywhere where you got storage and you can get a link. So don't worry about that. But that's why that is so big. Let's go back. So you've got your delivery. I'm going to wait a day. I'm going to do a check-in. If you can see that, a little about me and what you can expect. So you're just, introducing yourself because you're the man off the street right now. All they did was grab the lead magnet. And you need to tell them about you. And you need to tell, give them, some indication of why you're the right person that they should still keep listening to. Here's the thing. Do not. I'm going to go back to Donald Miller's story brand and the hero journey. Do not talk about yourself as in how smart you are or how many credentials you have or, I was in the C-suite here and, people want to know how you can solve their problem. Yes, you have to prove that you're an expert, but you don't have to tell people exactly every little thing you did because it tires people out and it does nothing for you. It does nothing for you. But if you say, hey, guess what? I was right there. So maybe you have, you're a mom, your kids are in their teens, but you remember, how that, toddler stage was and you're an expert now. Well, tell your people that. Hey, I went through this. I went through the 3 a.m.s. I had a colicky baby, blah, 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 blah. That's what makes you an expert. Okay? So let's just make that clear. Don't be talking so illustrious about yourself. Talk as if you can guide them to their goal. It's all about them. They're the hero. Okay, so a little bit about you, and then we're going to wait 2 days. This cadence can be however you want. You'll get a feel for how people want to get your emails. And then the next one is the biggest mistake. And this is kind of good because you're going to frame it as, I'll open this up. The biggest mistake. Let's see how we frame that, okay? I need to, and this whole workflow, it's got it's got the copy in there. And I am going to, Claude did that for me, right? Claude did this. But guess what? Claude just reached out and got the most successful email sequences out there. And I've been seeing this forever and a day. It's all the same. You can put it in your own words. Put it in your own words, but use this as a jumping off point because what it is, there's a lot of psychology behind it and it works. So right now, hey, I need to tell you about something I see all the time. So tell them, when people try, and you got these bracketed things just for you, fill in the blank if you're lazy. If you're lazy, but if this works for you, make sure that it's in your voice. So when people try to achieve a goal, solve their problem, they almost always start by what is a common mistake. So, and it goes on and on and on. And like I say, not going to bore you with that. But if you are using Flowdesk, I can share this with you. So, uh, my my laptop. No, this is my iPad. It's going to go down any minute, but we are going to power on, right? So after this, we're going to wait another 2 days. How client name you went from pain point to result. Now, this is kind of like a case study. This can either be a client that you helped, but it can also be you. Um, I use, for me, I use, in my marketing, I use that I know where they're at. I've been there. I've spent the 3 a.m. trying to get uh, an email to the right, I think I've got everything, hooked up, but I'm never getting the email or it's always going into spam. You know, I've been there. I've been there. I have tested everything. I have walked from one end of the internet to the other, and you don't have to, okay? Because I'm all about making things easy. So we're going to wait another couple of days. I have something for you. This is just a little something. You're going to tease that workshop, that little low hanging fruit for them. You're just going to tease it. You're going to come in my favorite resources, and this is how where you're given. They call this the value bomb. You just give them a lot of, hey, go here, and you can refer them to other people. You don't because you don't know everything. Give them some good resources that's going to help them with that pain point. And this is it. That's it. And you would be the other thing is you'd be doing the re-engagement and you'd be doing those they call them broadcasts because they're not actually in a sequence, the ones that you're going to do once a month, once a quarter, et cetera, et cetera. But you're always going to be in touch with them. So I want to go over here. Okay, so to prove to you that this is agnostic, here's Chrome. Here's Kit, and okay, so I got these. It's funny. I'm laughing because I have to point this out to you. A lot of people love Kit. I know it's great. It's great. The marketing is great because they market to creators. So, and I got this Colin. His name is Colin Scotsland. I think it's weird. Lovely accent. Um, he's a copywriter. I remember getting stuff from him years and years ago, and then when I looked him up recently, uh, he's all into AI. So I got to check him out. But he, by nature, he was a copywriter. So right here, you can see um, this is how it looks very similar to Flowdesk. So this is what has he got? He's got a lead magnet. This is the form. If I click on that, I should see a form. There's the form. That's nice. That's nice. And then Kit has tags. Same thing as segments. So downloaded lead magnet name. That's the tag you're going to give them. Now I don't know why he's waiting 30 minutes, but I would always wait a day. But he knows better than me. Template, lead magnet, delivery sequence, then you start the delivery sequence. So let's see. I don't care that Kit has two sidebars here. It's making me confused. So I'm going down. Colin gives you a little, you know, what this is for. Give them a link, blah, 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 free, blah, 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 blah. Example. This is really what I wanted to show you. So this is why I like Flowdesk. This thing right here, anybody, do you know what that means? I venture a guess that a lot of people coming into Kit don't know what the heck that is and what the heck they're supposed to do with it. I know they got help docs, but just to look at that thing, the only reason I know what it is because I can say hello world in about half a dozen different programming languages, and I do understand merge fields, and I can do a good if then else loop. And this is basically, it's an if loop, but it's not a loop. It's an if and if. Different thing. So here we go. You got these curly brackets, and then you got, you guys can see that, right? You got these curly brackets, then you got a percent sign, and then you got a curly bracket at the end, and you got another, percent sign and a curly bracket. What the heck? So what it's saying? It's saying if subscriber.first underscore name, okay, that's from the form, the first name, equal blank. If they did not give you their first name, because they don't have to, they may have only given you their email. So if that field is blank, you're going to say hello. Oh, I'm sorry. I did it wrong. Okay, let's start from the beginning. If subscriber.first name is, does anybody know what percent equal means? Anybody. The man off the street don't know. This means not equal. It took me a while, okay? And it's a little bit different in every programming language, but this is programming language talk. You don't want to deal with that. So if it's not blank, you're going to say hello again with the curly brackets. Subscriber.first name. So hello Jane, comma. Else, you're going to say hello, comma, and if. I think that's confusing. That's confusing. And they don't give you an opportunity to say, well, if the first name isn't there, you're just going to say hello. Why don't you say hello, friend? MailChimp lets you do that. I'm going to show you how easy this is over here. If I can find it. Okay, here we go. This is Flowdesk. Okay, maybe I do. Do I want to? Here, just real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say, hey. Then I'm gonna use the @ sign. We're all, we all are familiar with the @ sign, right above the two. Okay, I'm gonna go at. Bada boom, bada bing. Personalize. Yes. That's what I want to do. I want to personalize it. I can do the first name, the last name, or the email. If I had more than other fields, if I had other fields on there, they would show up here. So I'm going to do the first name. Well, if first name is unavailable, what do you want? I want friend. Hey, friend. Insert. That's all it takes. That's in plain English, and it gets the job done. So I was just being on my soapbox because I didn't know that Kit had that gobbledygook over there. And I don't think people should be presented with gobbledygook if they aren't in the gobbledygook realm, okay? I don't think people should have to deal with that. If you're not a programmer, don't give me stuff that looks like that. So that's just me. It's just me, my personal opinion. So let's see. I already did that. So we're kind of coming up to the end here. Let me see what the next slide is. It's me. So, how did I do on time? Good, 45 minutes. So, if you want this workflow, I can share it with you. I can share it with you just like a Canva template. It's so simple. Um, Kit does share too. So if you yeah, contact Colin Scotsland, I think it is. He's got some shareable workflows, but you could Google it. You can go out and Google um, swipe files. What else are they called? Email sequences. Google it. This is common knowledge. This is like in the public domain. These emails. So don't start from scratch. It's not necessary. So that's pretty much it for the flywheel. Now our takeaways are why flywheels generate their own momentum. I just think that's so cool. And it's a real life thing that there is a mechanical thing out there that does this. Happy customers become promoters who fuel sustainable growth. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Keep your customers happy. They're going to shout you from the rooftops. And it's just the growth just keeps on coming. The three stages are the attract, engage, delight, as opposed from a traditional funnel, which is attract, convert, close. Remember Alec Baldwin, always be closing. We are always be delighting. So last, how to set up your complete system. I went over that. It's a one-time setup in your favorite ESP, email service provider, creates the automation or workflow that works 24/7. So once you do this, I suggest not putting it on autopilot. Some people do, but here's the thing, what would happen, you never know if something kind of does a hiccup. So it's very important to go in, use a fake email, and go through the entire workflow to make sure it's always working. So I always say it's a living, breathing entity. So that's it. Now, I want to let you know, I'm going to go over here. The ugly, I'm going to go to gamma. Let me go over here. Hold on. Hold on. I should have had it up. I don't know if it's going to let me go in or not. But I found this thing. This is how I found this. I had asked, I'm working with Claude. And so I asked Claude, I always ask Claude for a slide deck. Not that I use it, but it gives me an idea of, what's supposed to be on each slide. And it's text based. So Claude asked me, did I want a Canva ready sequence of this? And I said, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that comes back with the fonts, the font size, the colors, everything you need. That was supposed to be a Canva ready prompt. It's not a prompt yet. I'm sorry. So I took that over as is to Canva, Canva AI. And Canva AI hiccuped and said, I can't do it. And I find that happens with Canva AI a lot. So I went back to Claude and I said, okay, Claude, create a prompt, a Canva ready prompt that Canva AI can understand and, give me that. So it gave me a beautiful prompt. All Canva had to do was follow the instructions. So Canva came back and says, oh, I can't do that, but I'll show you how to create a slide deck. So it gives me the directions for creating a slide deck. And I'm like, that's not what I want. I can do that on my own. I know how to do that. So I went over to Gamma. This is called gamma.app. It's not AI. It's gamma.app, but its address. And this is what it gave me. I've I've tried other slide decks, beautiful.ai. I wasn't impressed with. I know there's others, but the thing that I liked about this is number one, you can edit in here, and I'm new here, so I'm not sure everything where it's at, but you can edit everything in here. So I like that. And what I did was I exported to Canva, and this just blew me away. That when I went over to Canva, don't be looking at my junky Canva. I can't keep it straight to save my soul. All I did was export it as a PowerPoint. I uploaded it to Canva as a PowerPoint. And that's a lot of moving back and forth. And I thought, okay, this is not going to I'm not going to be able to have this editable. But everything in here is editable. Look, the complete everything. It's a beautiful thing. So you could have your AI give you the slide deck, however you want to do this, and take it over to Gamma, and Gamma seems to be able to interpret it quite well. And then when you want to make it your brand, you can stay in Gamma because it has its own editor as well, or you can come over to Canva, which I'm just more used to Canva. I know what it can do. So I'm happy to, make edits over in Canva. But that's just a little added little treat. Go over gamma.app. It's not that bad. $96 for a year. It was $8. That comes out to $8. I didn't see that they had a monthly, and I'm not keen on giving them a year until I know that I'm going to use it, but it seems like it's something that I may start using. So let me know if you like it. Go over there, check it out. And as always, this is the end. So we have our takeaways, and next time I see you, I will be here for Saturday next week. This is my 10th one. I am going to be consistent with this. So, got 10 consistencies in the bag. I am going to do it this Saturday. I know everybody's going to be, family and Christmas hangover, but, if you have a chance, come on over. Not sure. I may talk about Gamma. I may. I don't know. Um, but let me know if there's anything that you want to talk about. And because I won't see you before Christmas, I'm going to say Merry Christmas. I'm going to say Happy Holidays because that includes everyone. I'm more of a happy holiday person because I never know who I'm talking to. Not everybody celebrates Christmas, but they celebrate other things. So I say happy holidays. That covers everything. I think it's perfect. So that's it for today. Ta ta.